All right. So forgiveness is not always reconciliation and hugs and smiles and picking up where we left off and moving forward together. All right? To forgive means to release. It means to let it go. Okay? There are some people that we have to forgive up close. If your wife does something or your spouse does something, forgive quickly. You got to keep the home peaceful. If your kids do something, we can't just treat them poorly for the rest of their lives, right? So some people we have to forgive up close. Now, when we look at David, we see time and time again Saul mistreating David in some form. And I think it came from his jealousy. They loved Saul when he first came out, and they used to sing, he kills his thousands, and then David comes along and he's killing his 10,000s. And Saul did some pretty messed up stuff to David. Saul's wife, or no, David's wife was actually Saul's daughter. And after they got married, Saul sold David's wife to another man. Like this is no small thing. This is like that's kind of a big deal. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. That's kill him worthy, right? And in First Samuel chapter 18, David used to play the harp for Saul when he would get depressed and get in his moods. And twice David tried to spear him, right? So in First Samuel chapter 26, Saul is chasing David and they're in the wilderness. And David can see Saul coming. So David's with a couple friends. So he says, "Hey, who wants to go into Saul's camp with me?" And David's got this friend named Abishai, and Abishai was like, "I'll go with you." So the Bible says that a deep sleep had fallen over the camp, and Abishai and David, they make it all the way into the camp, and now they're in Saul's tent, and they're standing over a sleeping Saul. And Abishai says, "Your God has delivered your enemy into your hand." And he says, "Let me strike him. Let me do it. I won't even hit him twice. I'll just stick him once and kill him." And this is what we have to see. We have to see David's response. He says, "As surely as the Lord lives, the Lord will strike him. His day will come that he dies, or he will go down into battle, and he will perish." David said, "Take his spear and his water, and let's go." You see, David knows that it's not up to him. He has released it to God. David said, this is not my problem. This is not for me to deal with. Sometimes we have to forgive up close, but sometimes you have to take their spear and you have to get out of spear range. When you've been dealing with somebody for a while and you know their character and you know they're just going to do it again, you have to take care of yourself and you have to get out of spear range. You are not going to get me again. I will not allow you to get me again. Don't let me people make you feel bad that you're not being all friendly. Don't be ugly, but you don't have to be all friendly either. Take their spear and get out of the way. David could have killed him. They were standing over him. They had their chance, but David forgave. He released it. He gave it to God. He said, "This is your problem. This is not my problem. I am not going to kill Saul." It's okay to forgive from a distance. Take the spear, get out of the way. I don't know what you're going through, but God is still good.